Sanjay Kapur joins us, chairman of Sona Comstar. He joins us live. Mr. Kapur, good morning. Thank you for joining us. It's been a great year for the business which you represent, for your shareholders, and for the entire EV cycle. How do you see the trend shaping up for 2022 if one has to look at business from your standpoint?
Thanks and good morning. We're pretty positive about the outlook for next year. We've had a good first half, very strong, results in terms of numbers. The market's held up for us in terms of, our OEMs have done well. We hope for a positive 23. We're cautiously optimistic, as is the rest of the industry. And this is primarily because of the, headwinds that we face today with the chip shortage, the logistics issues, raw material prices going up. So there are headwinds in the industry, and we are going to be cautiously optimistic in terms of what comes next. Also depending on the virus and how that spreads and what kind of lockdowns that does create in terms of, what's happening globally. Not so much in India, but we're seeing some kind of slowdowns in Europe because of it. But I think, it's a passing phase, and we should get out of this situation pretty soon.
Let me use a wider lens to understand what I've read about your company when I speak to brokerages and some of your shareholders. While they're excited about the good work which you're doing in the EV space, your order book right now, 10 customers, they account for nearly 80% of the revenue, and 2 large customers account for nearly 35%. Isn't that risk of concentration?
So our order book, as of the end of quarter two the last quarter sits at 13,600 crores over the next 7 to 10 years, with almost 60% going to EV. We've obviously expanded the number of customers as well as, wallet share within customers. So it's changing in terms of diversification of customers. We're also well diversified in terms of customer segments. We supply into commercial vehicle, we supply into passenger car, 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers, as well as tractors. So we're a well diversified portfolio in terms of customers.
The challenge for the EV space is the dependence on China and Taiwan. About 70% of the components which are required to manufacture EV, they either are Chinese or they come from Taiwan. Given that how the supply chain is under pressure, we all have experienced the shortage of semiconductor. How do you see the dependence reducing, and what does that mean for you?
So, from reduction of dependence, this has been going on, and talks have been going on within organizations for the last year and a half, almost ever since we hit the first wave, where we saw the China plus one strategy. There's a lot of push for localization, in India. In our own business, we're, localizing, we're always developing new products so that we can, reduce our dependence on any kind of supply chain. So, and this is going to continue. There's a lot of push for future technologies, investments in future technologies. If you look at the PLI scheme that the government has announced, it's very positive in the direction of, encouraging companies to localize as well as create technologies for exports. So it's encouraging to see what's happening in India with regard to investment in R&D.
Sure. Sanjay, hi, morning. I want you to further don your hat as the ACMA president. Just on the topic that you were just mentioning about the PLI scheme, the one issue that really marred the auto industry and the OEM industry alike, along with many others, was the semiconductor chip shortage. Now, I know much of it is going to be fluid because of the Omicron variant, and we don't know the intensity of lockdowns, like you as well alluded to. But last, when we spoke about 2 odd months back, you said that things are beginning to ease and supply is easing off when it comes to semiconductors. At an industry level, where do things stand as of now?
So, morning, Aisha. I must say that I've always maintained that this is a problem that is not doesn't have a solution, immediate solution. The semiconductor chip shortage issue is something that will last for a while, just given the dynamics of the fact that several industries are increasing the number of chips that they use. The automotive industry itself is increasing the number of chips that we use, and therefore the demand for chips is going through the roof. We do not have the capacity globally to keep up with it. And as capacity gets added this shortage will reduce, or we will find some sort of clarity in terms of supply chain and ease in supply chain in terms of the headwinds that we're facing today. So, again, we as an industry, we consume 7 to 10% of the output of the chip industry, and hope to go up to almost 20% because of the number of chips that will increase in the automotive industry. So we are going to see some headwinds with regard to a chip shortage. They will continue till we see more capacity added, which could take a little while.
Sure. Yesterday, Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari, Sanjay, said that the government is advising car makers to start manufacturing vehicles with flex fuel engines, and that should happen within the next 6 months. I wanted you to throw some light on whether or not the industry is geared up for such a transition in the next 6 months or not.
So, this is more of an OEM-related question, and I'd leave that to the OEMs to decide. However, as an industry, we're very resilient and we're very, flexible in terms of technology. We've continuously invested in technology. We've seen how we've moved from BS4 to BS6. We've seen the push from EV and how, we've adapted to the electric vehicle revolution that is happening today. And I'm certain that, as an industry, we'll be able to keep up with the change.
Is not out what is happening in the entire two-wheeler EV space, but for an auto ancillary company, how do you see trends shaping up? Because EV, the disruption in the two-wheeler space at the EV level is far more evident than what it is there, at least in the four-wheeler space.
Yeah, so the disruption in the industry is apparent, whether it be connectivity, whether it be autonomous, whether it be shared, whether it be EV. And as an industry, like I said earlier, we're continuously investing in R&D, we're continuously investing in future technologies, and we are going to see more disruption in this industry. And as a component industry, we're going to have to continuously invest in future technologies, be it on our own or be it through joint venture partnerships. We're very attuned and accustomed to joint venture partnerships. That's how we began the industry in terms of joint venture partnerships for technology, and we'll continue to do this so that we can, bring technologies to India and supply to the OEMs.
And I'm comparing that with FY19. I don't have we've not tabulated the last 2 quarters data, but if I look at FY21 data, exports form nearly 75% of your total revenue pie, while the India share has declined. Is that a conscious move, or I'm just comparing 21 and that's not the true picture?
So a couple of things here. One, we as an industry, exports increased in India. And this is also because of the fact that given lockdowns in India, given the fact that we had, last year, 3 months or a quarter of no revenue, capacities were moved across other geographies. So this is really a factor of where the production took place. It's and like I said, as an industry, we did increase exports last year.
Why is that you spend 6% of your total revenue as R&D, whereas the global average is not even 2%?
So we were developing new products. Our average is 3.5%. On average. Last year, it may have been a little more because of the fact that we're developing new products. In the industry, we're expected to continuously develop products. That's the way to, gain more market share, gain more customers. And, we're moving to a situation where we're moving from ICE to EV. So there's going to be a lot of development, not just in our own business, but in other component industries, component companies as well.
So just to wrap it up, I understand that you're waiting for at least a dozen patents. Few of them are global in nature. Can you walk us through that? As you will get these patent approvals, what happens? What changes? If the IP business goes stronger, will that boost up the margins?
Well, we are developing products. Like I said, we're spending 3.5% on average in our R&D spend. And this is really dependent on what the customer requires. So we're very in tune with designing and developing products for the customer right from the black box design stage. So we will continue to develop as the OEMs continue to change their technology and demand more from us. We're going to continue to develop, and as we do that, obviously the business will continue to grow. Our aim is to continuously bring out new products in our business every few years, and that's really our growth strategy in terms of how we will gain more market share, gain more customer share.
2 seconds. Sanjay, we're all getting serious here, but considering most of the world is away on holiday, I wanted to ask you, which activity are you going to add come 2022? I already know that you begin your day every day with yoga. You have been a polo player for years now, and you've been skiing as well of late, as I understand.
So I think just to continue to do everything I can possibly do to stay physically fit as well as mentally fit. It's important to be fit in your mind as well as your body.
Absolutely. Okay, Sanjay, good to have you in the show as always. Thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thank you.